Hi guys, welcome to 3Gen TV. I've got some of the team from the Agents of Change venue to talk to us today. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Yeah.
Surviving.
Feeling up
Good.
for
Do you
it.
want to introduce yourself to the guys who are watching?
Absolutely. My name's Graeme Hodge. I'm from All We Can. And yeah, really pleased to be here at 3Gen this weekend.
And I'm Claire Welch. I'm also from All We Can, and we're having a great time at 3Gen.
Great. So do you want to tell people a bit about what you're doing in the Agents of Change venue, what your sessions are on and that kind of thing?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so primarily we want to put out the message that everyone can change the world. No matter how young you are, how old you are, you've all got the potential to be a world changer.
Okay. And your workshops and sessions individually, what have you been leading so far today?
So we've done 2 sessions so far today, and really interactive sessions. So if people are thinking about what they can come to over the weekend, we'd encourage people to come along and give it a go. Lots of really creative ways to engage. We've got a board with 100 ways to change the world that people can kind of go through. There's pledge cards they can do that. We've got some fairly big other props in there that kind of help people think about the big world around us, and lots of kind of visuals as well, and ways to meet people and engage with their individual stories, people from Zimbabwe, people from Cameroon, as well as some fun games and interaction, and hearing about some world changes as well that can inspire us.
Yeah, if people haven't been in there yet, they need to go in and check out the huge globe
Yes.
that's in there. It's absolutely massive. But why bother with justice and young people? Because you guys are obviously really focused on young people. Why is that?
The thing is that justice is something that God intends for the world, first and foremost. And so as Christians, we believe that that's absolutely something that we should be banging on about. I think secondly as well that when you engage in justice, certainly from an evangelical point of view, it's a leveler. I've found growing up, and I find now that people who aren't of faith or are of other faiths, actually they can rally around social justice, and it's something that everyone can engage with regardless of what your faith background is. So it's a great way to kind of engage with your community as a church, as an individual, amongst your friends at school. So that's the second thing. And I think the third thing is that, you know, it's not right that just because of where you're born, you have different rights or responsibilities or access to different resources. And so we think that there's something worth fighting for when we look at the situations of injustice around the world. And there's so many of those. Sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. And really what it's all about this weekend is finding ways that, you know, what power do you have in your hands that you can use to change the world for somebody else? Looking at our global neighbours and being a link in that change, because change ultimately happens when we all work together.
Yeah, and Claire, what is the key to making change happen?
I think it's realising, one, that you've got resources at your disposal. You've got a brain, you've got passion, you know God, you know His heart, you've got His backing behind you, and everything we're working towards is for Him, for His glory, and a demonstration of His love for the world. So, and it can take simple actions such as how much electricity we choose to use, for example, using our voice to petition our MPs to make a change. There's so many small actions that we can take that when they're all gathered together have a vast impact and really does bring world change.
And you think there's like, what, 1,000, 1,200 people here this weekend. Yeah. Imagine if everybody here committed to just doing one thing to change the world. I mean, that is massive, the ripples from that, let alone when they influence and share that with their neighbours and their neighbours decide to take action. So even just from this amazingly surreal kind of setting of Pontins in Southport, actually something massive can happen.
And how do you inspire young people to go home and make that change?
Well, I think it's one thing to talk about the situations in the world, and to, you know, you can easily bombard people with lots of problems and issues, but crucial to that is bringing it down to really practical ways that you and I can you know, things that we can do in our daily lives to make a difference. And that's what the pledge cards are all about. So at the end of each session and during all the drop-in sessions as well, people can come in and we have these pledge cards. And as I said, we've got these 100 ways to change the world. So that's just 100 that we've thought of. Certainly there's lots of other things that people can do. And they can pick a couple of those and choose those and promise to do that. And we've got a little sort of bus pass holder. They can stick that in. Okay, yeah, it's a bit of novelty, but actually it's so that people keep it in their pockets when they're going to school, when they're catching the bus, when they're catching the train, when they're going to work, uni, whatever, so that it's in their hearts, it's in their minds, it's in their pockets as a constant reminder that actually, okay, I'm going to work at these things until I've achieved that, and then when that's achieved, I'm going to go on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And, you know, I think it was Margaret Mead that says, never doubt that a small group of people can change the world because it's the only thing that ever has. And that's inspiring because actually what we've got here is not even a small group. We've actually got quite a large large group of people that can really change the world just by taking practical actions in their daily lives and the way they live it.
Great. It sounds like you guys are doing a great job.
Thank
so
you.
keep going.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
And see you guys later on.
Thanks.